Hi guys, welcome to Unacademy CLAT and welcome to this our session with toppers where we interview CLAT toppers and understand from them how did they really prepare for CLAT in the last 1 month. Today we have two students of NLS who also managed to crack CLAT with great ranks. So we have with us Oorjah and we have Sanjana with us. Hi guys, so first let us introduce you not by your name but by your AIR. Please tell me your AIR in both CLAT as well as in AILET.
So in CLAT I got rank 10 and in AILET I got rank 19.
In CLAT I got rank 7 and in AILET I got 27.
So you guys see that there are two students both with great ranks at CLAT and also with great studies at NLS. So let me ask them a very pertinent question. What is more scary, NLS or CLAT?
I think NLS is more scary for me.
CLAT was more scary for me.
Okay, so we do not seem to have a clear agreement कि ज़्यादा डरावना क्या है, CLAT है या फिर CLAT के बाद आप जहाँ जाना चाहते हो वो है. आप लोगों को क्या लगता है, आपके लिए CLAT ज़्यादा स्कैरी लग रहा है अभी या जब आप NLS पहुँच जाओगे तो वो ज़्यादा स्कैरी होगा? लेकिन उससे पहले हम एक बार दोनों के कारण समझ लेते हैं. वाई दैट शी फील NLS इज़ मोर स्कैरी एंड वाई दैट शी फील कि CLAT इज़ मोर स्कैरी. ऊर्जा क्यों लगता है वाई इज़ NLS मोर स्कैरी?
I just feel you can never be prepared for NLS. हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ रहेगा when you feel कि अब नहीं हो पा रहा, academics is getting a bit difficult for you to manage. CLAT के लिए you can always prepare. There's no problem with that.
So that's है ना disguise motivation guys, है ना. She has just motivated you by telling you कि CLAT के लिए तो prepare हो सकता है, NLS के लिए नहीं हो सकता. Let's hear the other opinion.
The thing is with CLAT, there's always an uncertainty of like where you're going to land up, and because you're nothing at that point. But like once you've achieved something in CLAT, you feel like okay, something is done. So there's some weight off your mind. So you feel like you can relax a lot more that now that you're in college. So although it is very stressful, the academics and everything, it was more stressful during CLAT.
Okay guys, अब I have a very interesting way to determine कि आखिर में ज़्यादा scary क्या है. I'll ask them a very objective question and I'll let you be the judge. We'll ask them the number of shows or the movies or the books that they have read during CLAT and while at NLS. And this will let you judge कि कॉलेज ज़्यादा स्कैरी होता है या CLAT ज़्यादा स्कैरी होती है. तो बताओ यार, CLAT के समय कितनी मूवीज़, बुक, शोज देखे हैं, पढ़े हैं, और उसके अलावा कॉलेज के दौरान, NLS के दौरान, हाउ मेनी डिड यू मैनेज टू डू?
CLAT के टाइम पे I watched a lot of movies and a lot of shows. Books नहीं पढ़ी मैंने but I read out of newspapers and everything. यहाँ कॉलेज में आके तो आई हैव जस्ट वॉच 2 shows.
Okay guys, CLAT 1, NLS 0. Let's hear about it.
Honestly, same. CLAT, I did a lot of waste of time. I read so many books. I watched so many movies. I went out a lot and all. I mean, NLS, you also waste time, but it's not through books, movies and all.
How do you waste time then? मतलब ये कौन से बच्चे यार जो पढ़ाई को क्या हम पढ़ लेते हैं, वो गलती से गलत सब्जेक्ट पढ़ लेते हैं ना, तो वो वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम हो जाता है. हमने पॉलिटिकल साइंस की जगह हिस्ट्री पढ़ लिया था. हाउ डू यू वेस्ट टाइम इफ यू आर नॉट डूइंग दिस थिंग्स?
You live on your own. You can do whatever you want. There's no curfew at NLS. So you just roam around. You just don't realize when time goes by.
Yeah, we just hang out in the campus. बहुत restriction नहीं है कुछ, so we have full liberty to go anywhere, anytime. So.
Okay. So then don't let them fool you. NLS is not that dreamy a place that they make it out to be. But here coming to the CLAT preparation for which all of you are interested, है ना. NLS में भी you are interested. I know that. Okay, तो CLAT preparation के बारे में चलते हैं और पूछते हैं कि what were the subjects that really they were great at and what were the subjects that were troubled with. So who do you want to start? Let's start with Sanjana this time. Sanjana, you're from Bangalore and you're studying at Bangalore. Get a great CLAT AIR. But there must be subjects which troubled you, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And what were those subjects?
For me, it was GK. GK was like a monster that I didn't know what to do with in the beginning. So it was very difficult for me to like even get myself to start doing GK because there was so much. So like you don't know where to start and how to start doing it. For that, so definitely GK was a section I struggled with.
Okay, and I believe she did not because she's smiling while she's talking about GK. So let's ask her opinion about the current affairs.
GK was my strongest section. I just loved reading so much, and it was like I was so hungry for knowledge that I just kept reading and learning.
Okay, interesting. So one thing that we learned from these answers is no two toppers are the same. Even if you have one weak subject and a subject that you are great at, it does not really mean that you will end up at NLS or you will not end up at NLS. I'm sure a lot of you watching that आर अ फ्यू डेज अवे फ्रॉम योर क्लैट. और आखिरी के मौके पे जब एक सब्जेक्ट वीक होता है तब हमको ये टेंशन बहुत होती है कि अगर ये सब्जेक्ट नहीं सुधरा क्लैट चला जाएगा. ऐसा नहीं होता है ना. देयर आर स्टूडेंट्स हु स्ट्रगल विद सब्जेक्ट. These are students like you. Look at their faces. They are smiling and you are not. And I made them smile before the interview. Okay, so they were also not smiling that much. So guys, these are students who were preparing for CLAT, who were scared of CLAT. Let me ask them about their fears when they were preparing for CLAT. They used to scare them. That they used to have those dreams. Because मुझे आप में से कई सारे लोग बताते हो कि कई रात आपको वो सपने आते हैं जिसमें आज ही क्लैट का पेपर है. आप क्लैट के पेपर में पहुंचते हो, कुछ भूल जाते हो, शायद पेपर पूरा नहीं कर पाते हो, कई सारी चीज़ें होती हैं आपके साथ. क्या यही सपने इन लोगों को भी आए जिनके सपने सच तो नहीं हुए लेकिन वो वाले सपने सच हुए, राइट? सो लेट मी गो टू ऊर्जा. ऊर्जा, डिड यू यूज टू हैव दोज नाइटमेयर्स बिफोर क्लैट?
Yeah, sometimes definitely. Like, I was very scared of critical reasoning. So I felt like I had dreams where I thought that I would never clear critical reasoning and a lot of them. Yeah.
गाइज, आई एम होपिंग कि कम से कम आप मेरी क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग क्लासेस से इतनी खतरनाक पोजीशन में तो नहीं हो. खैर, लेट्स गो टू हर. एंड डू यू रिमेंबर ड्रीमिंग सच nightmares ever?
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't specific section wise, but it was generally like you take so many mocks. Some mocks are good, some are bad, and you start thinking, what if CLAT is one of those bad mocks? So that obviously keeps you up at night sometimes. So those fears always exist.
Okay, guys. So I'm sure a lot of you watch Mission 35 Plus at 10:30 p.m. and you also know that every day when we finish mission at 11:30 p.m. we have certain traditions that we follow. We let you ask question and I answer them for every day around 10 minutes. मैंने एक चीज़ नोटिस करी, हर बार संडे को the number of questions that I get increases significantly and most of those concern bad mocks. कि मॉक में मार्क्स बिगड़ गए, आज मॉक्स ख़राब हो गया, क्लैट छोड़ दें क्या, क्लैट नहीं हो पाएगा. इस तरह के क्वेश्चन कई बार आते हैं. क्या इस तरह के ख्याल टॉपर्स को भी आते थे? Did you ever after your mock score were not that great? कभी तो हुआ होगा मॉक स्कोर अच्छे नहीं आए होंगे, है ना? हमेशा तो 110 के पार स्कोर नहीं किया ना? नहीं, है ना? तो हाउ डिड यू यूज टू डील विद दैट? डिड यू गेट स्केयर पहले?
Yes, definitely. I would get very scared. I've also cried 2 or 3 times and I didn't get good scores. But then you just have to accept that sometimes you don't have the right state of mind while appearing for the mock and you just improve. You work on the weaker section and that is the only way out. You can't do anything else about it.
Yeah, like even when you have a bad mock, I mean, retrospectively, when you think about it, you can say, oh, it's just a mock. You write so many of those. But in that moment, that mock means everything to you. So, but then you just have to like look at it objectively and see it as 150 more questions you learn from. That's all. And then you write a mock like I used to write a lot of mocks. So I used to write one every 3-4 days. So you write a mock almost immediately after. So like you soon forget about all the old mocks.
Yes, guys. So this is one thing that I always tell you if you've been watching me for some time now, that CLAT is a simple game. CLAT is a game where there are a certain number of mistakes that you can commit. And the best way to avoid committing those mistakes is to commit those mistakes, but not during CLAT, but before CLAT. अगर आपने मॉक में कोई गलती कर दी, बहुत कम चांसेस है कि आप वही मिस्टेक क्लैट में करोगे. तो आप हाउ डू यू इंश्योर योर चांसेस ऑफ मैक्सिमम सक्सेस इन क्लैट? बाय इंश्योरिंग कि आप ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मॉक दे रहे हो, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा गलतियाँ कर रहे हो, और जिस मॉक में आपके 100 आए ना, उसमें तो आपने शायद 50 ही गलती करी, लेकिन जिस मॉक में आपके 50 आए, उसमें देयर वर 100 मोर मिस्टेक्स दैट यू लर्न फ्रॉम, 100 मोर चांसेस दैट यू कुड हैव गॉटन इट रॉन्ग इन द क्लैट, और वो गलतियाँ आप क्लैट में नहीं करोगे. लेकिन इसके लिए इम्पॉर्टेंट ये हो जाता है कि हम ना सिर्फ मॉक दें, ना सिर्फ गलती करें, बट गलती से सीखें भी, और उसके लिए इम्पॉर्टेंट है मॉक एनालिसिस. लेट्स गो टू देम एंड आस्क देम इफ दे यूज टू डू मॉक एनालिसिस एंड हाउ डिड दे यूज टू अप्रोच इट.
ऐसा मॉक एनालिसिस इज इंडिस्पेंसिबल. अगर एनालिसिस नहीं किया तो देयर इज नो पॉइंट ऑफ गिविंग द मॉक बिकॉज यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट मिस्टेक्स यू हैव मेड. So I had made a mock analysis notebook where I would write down all the mistakes that I had made, how I was feeling right before the mock, and how I was feeling before, like right during the mock. So I would analyze everything very closely and work on those mistakes.
Same here. I used to do something very similar. I used to have like a log of all my marks and my sectional scores in each of those marks. And the number of questions I attempted, got wrong, got right. And I used to try and attempt the questions I got wrong one more time and see if I get it right this time. And if I don't get it right that time either, then it would be a conceptual like shortcoming. So I had to work on those concepts. So like that's what I would do.
Guys, yesterday something very interesting happened. These guys were in the office and these guys were having their trial run before the first session. And I come up, there were 5 students from NLS. I'm very excited always to meet students from NLS because these guys are my juniors and they're probably reaping some of the bad things that we have done at our time. So there's this girl who looks at me with recognition and I'm like, okay, does she know me? How come? And I got a very pleasant surprise last day while we were having dinner, that she used to watch Mission. So Mission 35 plus mein you wouldn't have seen her live because she told me that she used to keep collect all the recording for 7 days and she used to revise it. So let's just ask, how did she used to do Mission? What was her Mission experience? And when did she get to know about Mission 35 plus?
So I got to know about Mission 35 Plus from Telegram itself. I watched a couple of sessions. I liked it. The content was really good. The topics sir was covering were quite relevant. So I thought that I would watch the videos. So every weekend I would sit and revise all the topics that sir had covered, and it was quite helpful.
Thanks a lot. But anyone who watches Mission 35 plus does not do one mistake, and that is calling me by calling me as sir. At least students from NLS, what do you call your senior? By name or by
name.
By name.
So why are you calling me sir then?
I never attended a live session now, so I don't know that much.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And coming to the good part of it, NLS, and let's. Well, guys, do you wonder why did they look into each other's eyes whenever I mention NLS and they are like, "ये क्या बात हो रही है यार?" But trust me, these are actual NLS people. These guys study at NLS. You can check their website or LinkedIn profile in a couple of your time. Okay, so let's talk about them at NLS. How they enjoying it? What do they do? How does an average day in the life of an NLS student look like? तो शुरुआत करेंगे हम संजना से और पूछेंगे कि व्हेन डज शी वेक अप, हाउ इज़ एन एवरेज डे इन द लाइफ ऑफ एन एनालिस्ट स्टूडेंट, एंड क्या क्या ट्रायल एंड ट्रिबुलेशंस होती है एनालिस्ट लाइफ की.
Okay, so you wake up like whatever time you sleep, which is usually post 3 a.m. You wake up in time for the 8:50 classes. So you have to sacrifice sleep when you're in college. There's no other way, unless you sacrifice everything else for sleep, which is also an option. Then you attend classes. You can sleep during some professors' classes, but you have to be selective about it. Then after that you take a long nice afternoon nap, because afternoons are very dead at NLS. No one comes out. Then in the night everyone comes out and like stays there like until really late, like and then one by one everyone goes back. And then you see Friday nights people are going out like dressed up and fancy, and then you come back and try and do your readings, which doesn't happen most of the time for the classes and all. That's how a day looks like.
And your day?
I prefer waking up early in the morning, so I sleep by around 12 or 1 max, and I'm in time for classes. I pay attention to classes. I never sleep during classes. Yeah, so and then I come back, I take a nap, and I'm just doing the readings and the project work. Sometimes we go out and hang out in the campus.
Sometimes you go out and hang out in the campus. So that's the idea of going out, by the way. Okay, and what is, so I'm sure you were very excited before you were coming to join law school, right? So I remember it was back in May 2016 जब हमारा रिजल्ट आया था. तो एंड आई वॉज इन द बैच ग्रुप, है ना, तो बैच ग्रुप में हम लोग सब साथ में थे, एंड देयर वर पीपल की वी कांट वेट फॉर लॉ स्कूल टू बिगिन, एंड वंस लॉ स्कूल बिगिन वी कांट वेट इट फॉर टू एंड, है ना. तो दैट समथिंग दैट हैपेंस. सो did you always dreamt of NLS? And once you reached NLS, I'm sure that iconic library that you see, how did you feel for the very first time?
Well, for the library, it's being reconstructed, so we don't have access to it anymore. And yeah, I was pretty excited to start college, but as you said, now it's started. We can't wait for it to end. It's quite hectic.
Yeah, we value NLS a lot lesser now that we're actually in it. But at one point, it meant absolutely everything too.
So is it be careful what you wish for? Okay, guys. Let's know more about them as a person. Let's talk about what do they do when they are not studying, when they are not machao-fying at NLS. What do they do in life if there is life after it? So, what do you generally do? What are your hobbies?
I play badminton.
Oh, you play badminton.
Yeah. And I like reading books.
What all books do you read?
I like historic fiction mostly as a genre. So like Khalid Hosseini and all, like he's one of my favorite authors, and I have a huge World War II collection of books. So
Okay, guys. So if any 2024 aspirants are watching it right now, both of us can recommend that reading books will significantly help you. I'm not sure if it will help you if you are preparing for CLAT 2023, which is just a few days from now. So there's not much time left for reading book. But let's not miss this opportunity, and let's ask her for some of the best book recommendation that she can give to CLAT aspirant, but probably just starting to read, who have started reading, but some of the best books. So I'm sure you will have to recommend at least 2 of the best books that you have read for people who are at a mature stage of reading, who have started reading books. And if there are people who are beginning to read, if there are CLAT aspirants who are beginning to read books or develop their taste in fiction, what books would you recommend them?
okay, if you're beginning to read and you're not very comfortable with reading books, then start with Dan Brown or books like that. And
Any particular title of Dan Brown?
Angels and Demons, the Da Vinci Code. Then, if you like, I have a passion for books and really like to read, I would recommend A Thousand Splendid Suns, The Book Thief, and The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, books like that.
Okay, The Boy in the Striped Pajama. Who wrote it?
I don't recall.
Okay. And what would you recommend students do?
For reading,
For reading, for watching the great shows?
yeah, I'm not much into reading because NLS has taken all my energy. I watch a lot of time spending. I spend a lot of time watching TV shows on Netflix. So I watched Big Bang Theory, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Atypical, and I've watched a lot of shows. Yeah.
Yeah, and another big problem that I believe a lot of students have, and कई सारे बच्चों को ये लगता है कि जब वो लॉ स्कूल जाएंगे they are not able to speak in English. When I went to law school, मैं भी आप ही की तरह था, मुझे इंग्लिश बोलना ज़्यादा नहीं आता था. One of the finest way we can improve speaking abilities is by starting to watch shows, starting to watch movies. And not being able to speak English is not a handicap in law school. That's what you are going to law school for, to improve your communication abilities. So I'm sure Sanjana is from Bangalore and she used to speak English a lot, so she may not have faced that impediment. But Oorjah is also from North India. Did watching movies, TV shows help the way you speak, help you speak better English, or something that helped you in general law school studies?
Yeah, definitely. So since I'm from North India, I'm not used to speaking in English a lot. Like even in campus, when we talk to people from North India, we use Hindi only. It's just it just comes off naturally. For English, since I read a lot of books and I watched a lot of shows, so that helped me a lot. You just learn the casual phrases that you have to use, and you just know how to phrase sentences and everything. Apart from that, since I used to read newspaper every day during CLAT preparation, so I read newspaper for 2 years, so that really helped me.
Which newspaper? Indian Express, The Hindu?
I read both of them.
Oh, that's okay. That's not the ideal to look forward to. Okay, she used to enjoy that, and it was also a part of her hobby. And लास्ट क्वेश्चन गाइस, आई विल नॉट कीप यू एनी फर्दर, है ना. अनअकैडमी के लोग भी हमको गंदे लुक देने लग गए, हमने बहुत देर से बातें कर ली हैं. तो अब यहाँ पर जस्ट वन वर्ड क्वेश्चन, क्विक क्वेश्चन, यू विल हैव टू थिंक अबाउट इट. ओके, डिस्क्राइब योर लॉ स्कूल एक्सपीरियंस इन वन वर्ड. आई विल गिव यू 5 seconds and I'll start with you. Law school experience in one word.
Challenging.
Okay.
But I like challenges, so.
Okay, she likes law school in a way. Okay.
A roller coaster.
A roller coaster. Okay, great guys. So it was nice, great talking to both of you. It was fun. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, sure.
और ये बोलने के पैसे नहीं दिए हमने इनको. All right guys, so with this we come to the end of the interview. Let's CLAT it, and we will be seeing you for other sessions at Unacademy. Do go to the description and find the links of all the classes that are happening at Unacademy. You can take the paid courses, but if you don't want to, you can at least come and experience the free classes that we have at Unacademy, like she did. Okay, and there is a lot of things that you can experience at Unacademy. Let's clat it.